let's say for this trick, I take the deck and I give it a little shuffle. After I'm done giving the deck a shuffle here, here's what I would do. I would instruct the spectator to go ahead and take out any 2 cards they would like from the deck, and I wouldn't even see these 2 cards, so all I'm going to do is show them to you. So let's say these 2 right here, so go ahead and remember these cards for me. So now I would ask the spectator to hand me one of the cards. Let's say right here. Here's your first selection. I'm not looking. I'll go ahead, take it, and place it somewhere about middle, give or take. Right about there. And now I would actually take the second card right here. I'm not looking. Go ahead and place it somewhere about middle too, to totally lose these 2 cards, just like this. So now, I don't know if you know this, but I actually have 2 cards in the deck that are going to help me, and the 2 cards are right here, the 2 jokers. So if the spectator would like to, they can actually examine the jokers right here and see that they're normal. But what we're going to do is use the jokers to try to find both cards. So I would ask the spectator to name a number out loud, let's say between 10 and, how about 25? Okay, so not too big, not too small. Let's say they name 14. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The first joker, doesn't matter which, goes right there face up. The rest go on top. So now I would ask the spectator to name another number out loud. Let's say between, I don't know, maybe 10 to, how about 5 to 20? Because I don't want to run into the first joker here. So how about they name, I don't know, 14 if we didn't. Did we? Yeah, we did 14. So how about they name, I don't know, 22. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now I know 22 isn't between 5 and 20, but it works out because the joker is actually here. And we'll place the rest on top. So now if the spectator would like to, they can even cut the deck. So let's say they give this a few cuts like this. So now I would say, remember, the deck was shuffled, you selected 2 cards, we lost them somewhere into the deck, and you named 2 numbers, and we dealt to those numbers. Let's see what the jokers can do. So here's the first card right here, and here's the second card right here on top of the joker. 2 cards were selected, and I'll ask the spectator to say the 2 cards out loud for the first time. So let's say they do that right now. And I would show them the 5 of clubs, and what a coincidence, the 5 of spades. So that was the trick. If you would like to learn how this is done, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Okay, so before I get into the tutorial here, I'm actually going to do the next deck review. Now, if you didn't know, I had recently won CardMechanic's 13K giveaway, so he sent me a few mystery decks and some other prizes. I'll leave that video down below. The first deck I reviewed was the Lady Moon playing cards, okay? So I will leave that video down below as well. And I'm actually going to make a list here of videos just so I don't forget any of the videos to leave down below. And okay, we're good. So, the next deck that was suggested was the Deck Starter deck. So without further ado, let's take a look at these. So the first thing, maybe you can't see on the box, but it's going to be a light green box. It's going to have a faded spade in the back, and in big, dark, bold letters, it's going to say Deck Starter. Now the starter part is going to look like it's in cursive, the deck part is not, and this is actually embossed. This part actually has a bit of a feel, but this is embossed. So this is the front of the box, and it actually says limited edition playing cards. So I'm guessing these are hard to come by. Now the top of the box says www.deckstarter.com. That is just a little embossed, not as much as the first part. And the side is going to say proud supporter of a Deck Starter project. And the other side is going to say discover new playing cards or create your own. It's going to be black, but the words are in green. Right there. And the other side actually has black and white with some gray. Okay, so right there. And the bottom says Deck Starter made in USA, and it has some copyright. Then the back is going to have a white back. Okay, none of it's embossed, but has this logo right here in like a mirrored image. Okay, so either this way or this way. Now, if we open this up, it's going to have just a little spade right there. Not embossed, but it's green. And if we open up even more, it's going to be black, but the white design runs down into the box, at least for the top tuck flap. And actually all on the inside, and there's a little heart inside of there too. I don't know if you can see it. Think right there, maybe. So there's a little red heart, and the design actually runs into the box. So there is actually the tuck box. Now, if we get into the cards themselves, what do the cards come with? So this isn't the back design, but this is one of the ad cards. It says, "What will your deck look like?" And it has a gray front right here. And on the back, it says how to get your deck funded. Sign up at Deck Starter, and that's check marked. Submit your design. Promote your project and create buzz. Get tons of people to fund your idea. Collect your money and celebrate. And that's underlined. So right there, if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. For if you're gonna create a deck or whatever. Now the next card says, submit your own design at deckstarter.com. Okay, and the other side here is green, and it says, Deck Starter is a funding platform for custom design playing cards, supported by friends, fans, and the public. Every deck has its own story and the potential to be printed. Discover new playing cards to create your own at www.deckstarter.com. So you can take a screenshot of that as well. Now the front of the box is going to be right here, okay? And as you can see, it's actually the front of the box. So here's the front of the card, which matches the box. Hopefully that made sense. But just like this. And these are actually the Jokers. And believe it or not, these are identical. Okay, so it's just a green and a black hat with two bells. And those were the cards. Now, get into the cards themselves. Here is what you are going to get. So here's the Ace of Spades. Okay, so it's just going to be a white background with a faded spade. Okay, nothing else. It's not going to say Ace of Spades or anything. Might be a little hard to see on camera. but you can see the pips are going to be a sort of gray color. And the number cards are going to be bicycle standard, except they're going to be gray. So I'm not going to take too long on these. But you can get a quick glimpse at these. So the first court card is going to be bicycle standard, except the colors are going to be green and black and gray. So that's sort of the theme for this deck. Otherwise than that, no secret reveals, no nothing. The queen still has her little reveal. The king has his swords. And those were the court cards. The colors were different. Now the reds are going to be darker, and the diamond is actually a lot bigger. Okay, so this is the only difference with the red cards. Okay, so nothing to look at. Now, the court cards for the whole deck is going to be the same as bicycle, except the colors are going to be different. Here's the jack. Here's the queen. Here's the king. Now, here's the king of clubs, okay? So the same. And the black cards are actually gray, in case you didn't notice that. So really, there's no big change with these, except the colors. There's the big club, and the king of hearts, queen of hearts, jack of hearts, and the rest of the cards. The reds are darker, but they're pretty much normal. And finally, here is the ace of hearts with the big red heart. And that was the deck starter deck. Not much to it, but it's a very nice deck. So I hope you enjoyed that review. The last deck review we have are the avocados, and those are actually quite designed. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial here for how this trick is done. So I actually saw this trick on Alex Pandrea's channel, and Scam School with Rich Ferguson had a neat sort of twist on this trick. So here is how you're going to do it. Now the way I did it in the performance is the way Rich Ferguson did it, but of course you don't have to do it. So first I'll go over Rich's way, and then I'll do Pandrea's way. So, setup is not even a setup. You could do this without a setup, but here's all you're going to do. The two jokers right here. Now keep in mind, Rich used jokers. You don't have to use jokers. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. And these are actually the Hellion playing cards, which I have a review on. So let me write that down so I don't forget to put it down below. Okay, nice. So, we have the two jokers, one on top, one on the bottom. Here's what you're going to do. I started off with a false overhand shuffle. You don't have to. You can do a false cut. But I will leave a link down below for the shuffle I did. And I will teach it real quick. And I'll actually leave these face up. So you're going to hold the cards like this. Now this is a shuffle I kind of came up with. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Now the shuffle itself isn't original, but one little part I added is, you're going to hold it like this. 4 fingers on the back, thumb on top. Your thumb is actually going to peel off maybe or actually hold on to maybe a quarter to half, while your other hand actually peels out some cards. And if you notice with your fingers, you're going to slip that bottom joker right onto the packet. Now normally this is done by bringing up the whole bottom half, but something I added in was holding onto that bottom card and slipping it off. Because if you have the top part you need retained, then this is perfect. If you need the top and bottom cards retained, this is perfect as well. So the next card, you're actually going to in-jog towards yourself. Now I'm going to exaggerate it. Obviously you wouldn't. You're going to take the rest of these cards and line them up with the joker. And when you do that, you can actually use your thumb to push back some of the top cards. But as you can see right here, you're going to have one card peeking out. Now, normally it wouldn't be this far out, but once again, I'm exaggerating this. Going to take your thumb, come over, push up and in, and when you do that, you're going to get a little thumb break. So now, all you have to do, just shuffle cards off from the top that your thumb is holding, okay? Like this. Now I'm going one by one just so you can see the break. In real life, you wouldn't. Once you let go of that last card and you're not holding a break, the rest of these are going to get thrown on top, okay? But there's one thing I want to talk about because that joker didn't stay on the bottom. So, when you do this, you're going to peel it off and you're going to shuffle, okay? You're actually going to lift up, push in, and then slide the top and bottom card off and start shuffling to the break, okay? And then once you're done with the break, you can throw the rest on top, and that will actually keep the top and bottom joker. So one more time with these face up, exposed. Once you're done with this, you're going to push up and in. You're going to peel off either the top and bottom joker or some from the top and either way the bottom card. And then you can shuffle and throw the rest on top. Check out the link down below for the overhand shuffle and some different ways I teach it. But in real life, here's what it might look like. Hopefully it's better than mine. But if you get a real sloppy, you might be able to hide the in-jog card. But right there, the two jokers. So now, the next part you're going to do is get straight into the trick. Do false shuffles, false cuts, whatever. If you do a riffle shuffle, just make sure if you start with your right hand here, really quick, I'll go over this. Either drop one or a whole bunch. And then with your right hand, end with one or a whole bunch. Now, if this is in your left hand here to riffle, you're going to start with your right hand and you're going to do the same thing. Okay, so just something I thought I'd throw out there. And we're good. So now two cards can be selected. The only thing is, the two jokers are could be selected. And I'll show you what to do if they are at the end. So let's say in this case, we have the Jack of Clubs and the Seven of Diamonds. Now in the performance, after I did the reveal there, I thought that was pretty cool how we had the two black fives. So really nothing much to remember. But in this case, you can either have two spectators each choosing a card, or one spectator writing both cards down. Here's what you're going to do. If you have your setup on top, you're going to need to get one card second from the top and one card second from the bottom, okay? You can do that any method you want, but what I did was a Marlo Tilt, and I have a whole video on the tilt, so I'll leave a link for that down below as well. But you need a break below the top card, so whether you push off and pull back, you riffle up, or you do the pinky count. I'm not going to discuss the pinky count, but I will leave it down below. So let's do pinky count. Okay. So there's one more way you can do this as well, but I'm going to teach you the Marlo Tilt real quick. So you have a break under the top card, which is one of your jokers, or whatever card you have. You're going to take the first card, and if you want to, you can poke out some cards from the front. You can use your index finger to lift some up from the bottom. Okay, you can even lift up half, okay? It doesn't matter, just watch your angles on this. So what I might do is lift up, and then I put it in the break while it's lifted. I drop the break while holding this up and down, and I push it in, okay? And that gets it second to the top. I go over that one more time. You have your break, gonna poke out some cards from the middle. You don't have to. And then for your break right here, you're going to put the card in, watch your angles, and now it's second from the top. Now, to get it second from the bottom, here's what you can do. You can use your pinky to pull down the bottom card, okay? It might be a little difficult. Or, spectator can sign this card, examine it. You come over and you riffle down. Or, one more thing is spread all the cards, eyeball the bottom one, lift up, put your pinky in, and square up, and now you have a break. Either way, you're going to do the same thing. Put it in. And now you have one joker on top with one selection underneath it, and a joker on the bottom with another selection underneath it. And now, all you have to do is produce the top and bottom card any way you feel comfortable. What I did was the quick as a wink catch. So, all I did was I peeled the top and card off slightly, about a quarter, okay, not half. If you want to, you can. I put my forefingers on the bottom, thumb on the top, and all you're going to do is go 1, 2, notice my wrist motion. When I get to 3, I throw everything, but I release some pressure. And when I do that, I'm able to catch the 2 cards like this. And of course, you might not always catch the deck, but make sure you can, because you don't want those selections getting lost somewhere, or revealing its top and bottom. But just like that, you can do it. If you don't feel comfortable, just take off the top and bottom. Just don't flash. And now, the trick is essentially self-working after this one part. I ask them to name a number between, let's say, 5 and 15. Let's go with 8. So you deal 1, 2, 3. So now one of the selections is on the bottom. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First joker goes face up. So the bottom card, second selection, will go on top of the joker. This is the secret. And now you ask them for another number. And I like a number before you get to that joker, okay? So if they name a low number, they have all these cards to go through, okay? So they shouldn't be one of those people that make you go to the joker or pass. So let's say they name 18. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Second card's on the bottom. Spectator can do this dealing too. For the first time, I might demonstrate just in one on top of the other. But for the second one, be careful they don't go near the bottom any. But the second joker goes there, the rest goes on top. Something optional I add in is if they want to give it cuts. It does nothing, but it's a nice way to mix up the deck. But we know it really doesn't do anything. So now after this, you can go over the whole trick. Deck was shuffled, you selected 2 cards, we used the jokers, we lost them in, and let's see what we can do here. You're going to take out the joker and the card on top of it right here. Okay, and for here, you're going to take out the joker and the card on top of it. And now you can ask them their 2 selections, and they'll show you the 7 and the Jack, just like that. So that's one way you can actually do this trick. Let me show you another control. Now this doesn't work for its second from the bottom, but you can play around and see what you can do. So let's say to control it second from the top, you want to do a bluff pass. I'll leave that link down below as well. But you catch a break under the top card, and you're going to use your 4 fingers to cover it. You're going to riffle down. They say stop. You lower your hand, let go of the break, and all at once you're going to lift up. And what they think is half the deck is actually 1 card. Okay, if you want a more detailed look, I'll leave a link down below. But they can put their card in. I come over, I lift up on half, and I drop it. Getting that card second from the top. But then you would have to do a different control to get it second from the bottom. So that's one way to do this. Here's another way to do this to get cards second from the top and second from the bottom. So this actually revolves around the Overhand Shuffle. Okay, so both cards are going to go on top. You're going to start with your Overhand Shuffle. 3 fingers on top, index on the side, thumb on the bottom. Your other hand is thumb, going to peel off 1, 2 selections, and then you can peel off a whole bunch. Okay, it doesn't matter. Now, both of these are on the bottom, okay? So what you're going to do is have to do that milk shuffle or retention shuffle. So either peel off the top and bottom card like this, or some of the top and the bottom. Either way, you want that bottom card. And then start shuffling the rest. When you get near the bottom, go 1 by 1. And if you do that correctly, you'll have 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. Now that is just in case you don't have the setup on top. So here's what it might look like in real life. These wouldn't be face up. I'm going to do it face up just so you can see. Just like that. Card on top, card on the bottom. One more way you can do this, and I actually saw this on 52 Cards channel, so the description box is going to have a lot of videos, so make sure you check it out if you don't know any of these moves. So here's one way he did it, and then here's a little twist I put on it. So, assuming you control the card second from the top and second from the bottom, you can actually ask them and show them, is your card on top? No. Leave it face up. Is your card on the bottom? Now, you can turn it over, but you're going to have to turn it back over and then peel it out, because if you don't, you're going to expose their card. Is it on the bottom? No. Peel it out, turn it face up, put it on the bottom. And now you are all set up to do the same catch, okay? So you can say, okay, maybe these 2 cards can help us. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to be able to catch both cards. Now, how do you do that? Going to be a little difficult. But essentially, your 4 fingers are going to hold the bottom card here, and your hand is going to be covering the top card. Your thumb you're going to want for the top card, and this top card right here, okay? So both top cards. This is what I saw. Now, you can do this with 1 selection as well, which 52 cards did, but not this version. You're going to throw it, and if you practice it just right, you're going to be able to snag both of those cards out. It's a little difficult, but that's something you can play around with. So here's something 52 cards actually did. He had one card on the bottom as a selection. Let's say the 7 of diamonds. So he's going to turn both top cards, and he can do the catch, and he can show. That's if you have one card control to the bottom. Something I came up with is actually having a card selected from the middle. Okay, now you can do it from the deck. Just keep in mind that you might choose the bottom card, okay? Or the top card, because you can actually have this with both setup cards. So let's actually get both cards back. We select one card, the Ace of Clubs, leave it face up, and when you cut it a bunch of times, sandwiching the top and bottom is going to be the 2 selections. I think there's one more thing I want to go over before I end the video. This is pretty long already, but I think this is what it is. 2 jokers are on top. What if they choose the 2 jokers for a selection? Just say, okay, perfect. Out of all these cards, you selected the 2 jokers, so let's actually try something out with them. Just something you can say. Okay, but I'm pretty sure you could come up with better patter than me. But that was basically the trick. Those are a few ways you can perform this trick. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see on the channel. If I missed anything from this video you would like to add in, I might remake this video. But that's it. I think that's everything. Check out the description down below. If a video isn't down there, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to put it there. But that's it. I will see you next time. Bye.